konnichiwa. Kyou wa 5月11日 5月11日 今日は日本語の練習は sentence structure. Yes, sentence structure. And the reason why I'm doing this sentence structure is because many people have complained how they are unable to like make sentences, like they know vocabulary, they've been learning Japanese, but they are unable to like make meaningful sentences, and that's why I'm making this video. So just follow me. What you want to know in Japanese is this structure. Like, just know the structure, and with your many vocabulary, you can make many sentences. And I'm just going to show you from just following the structure. Now, we want to start with the subject. Always start with the subject. But the interesting thing about Japanese is that the subject can always like be omitted because it's a contextual language. So based on who you're talking with, the person might already know what the subject is. So sometimes the subject is dropped. But before we start dropping subject, let's just learn it like this. You know the subject, you will then know when, what time is it happening. Not time as in like maybe 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. No, time like last week, next week, in the morning, in the afternoon. All those are time expressions. So what time is that activity happening, or is that thing happening? The next thing is, where is it happening? What place is it happening? The next thing is, with who is it happening? Then what is actually happening? Or what are you doing? Then the verb. I said it before that the verb always comes last with Japanese. Like, the verb always comes last. Some of these things we can switch up. Like, as you talk in normal conversational practice, you can switch up these things. Some of them you might not need them. Like, you could drop some of this order, but it's always the verb that comes last. The verb will always come last. So let's make an example sentence. I eat breakfast at home with my family every morning. I eat breakfast at home with my family every morning. So let me write that. I'll start. Watashi. Watashi, that is I, which is this one. Watashi. When. When is every morning. So when will be blue every morning. That's what we follow. My asa. When is my asa? My asa, watashi, my asa, right? Then where is at home. At home. At home is uchi or ie. Let's use ie. Ie. Let's use ie. Then with who? My family. So I'm going to write family, kazoku. 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 What? Breakfast. Breakfast. That's what I'm talking about. What am I talking about? Breakfast. Breakfast is asagohan. Asagohan. Sorry. Asago. Asagohan. Then the verb comes last. And then the verb is eat. That's the verb. The action word is eat. Tabemasu. Tabemasu. I'm just writing this so that you get it. Kazoku. Kazoku. Breakfast. Asagohan. Asagohan. Alright. So it's as simple as this. So now, sometimes the only difficulty people usually have is now how to put the particles, because Japanese sentences have particles so that they understand it. And most times, some of these particles can be dropped. But for a learner, you need to know some of these particles. But one thing you should know is that the particle always comes after that thing. So for instance, Whatever particle we're writing here will come here. That's why you see I left these spaces. Will come here, will come here, will come here, will come here. That's how it happens. Now, for our topic, the particle that always goes with it is wa. So it will be watashi wa. And please know that this wa is actually ha. It's ha, but it's wa actually. It's wa, but when it's used as a particle, it becomes ha. We use ha. So it's watashi wa. When you're speaking, it's watashi wa. But when you use it as a particle, we write it as ha. Watashi wa my asa. My asa usually doesn't need a particle. These time expressions. The time expression that needs a particle is your time, like when you're talking about time itself. So maybe kuji kara, kuji ni. Yeah, you will need a particle. That's when you're talking of 5 o'clock, 10 o'clock. But for this one, you can leave it without the particle. So it's watashi wa my asa. Iye. Iye will go with a place particle is de. De. The place particle. This is the particle that talks about where you are doing something. So, for instance, if you buy something at a convenience store, it will be kombini de kaimashita or kaimas, something like that. So, de is the particle that marks a place, and it comes after when you have mentioned the place. The next one is with who. The particle that goes with who. So it's either with family, tomodachi, with friend, or maybe you won't do it alone. Anyway, so the one that goes with the person you are doing something with is to. Let me write it with a different color so that you see it is too close to this. Tomodachi. If it's tomodachi, so the particle that goes here is to. Now the particle that goes with a verb when you're doing something, like for instance, asagohan, the particle that goes before it becomes o. This one is now o. As simple as that. Now you have formed your sentence. Now, it's just as I explained to you. Every morning, the verb always comes last. So, your eat is coming last here. My asa, at home, where? With who? Family. Watashi is already the subject. What else? Breakfast. Gohan. So, as simple as that. Watashi wa mai asa iye de kazoku to asagohan o tabemasu. Kazoku to asagohan o tabemasu. As simple as that. That is like your basic sentence structure. That's how to make your basic sentence structure. Now, let's say for instance, you don't want to give all this information, like it's too much. You want to just say, I eat breakfast every morning. I eat breakfast every morning. Same thing to be. Watashi wa. I eat breakfast. Watashi wa. Asagohan. Every morning, yeah? My asa. Watashi wa mai asa. Asagohan. Oh. Watashi wa mai asa asagohan o tabemasu. Every morning I eat breakfast. So now you see I've cut where I eat the breakfast, I've cut with who I eat the breakfast. But we still have our what, and it still follows the same thing. So my asa when, what I'm eating, and then tabemasu. So that's how to make your simple sentence structure. If you have any questions ask me in the comment section. Also, you can make simple sentences in the comment section and I will correct you, like if you have mistakes. Ja, matane.